Out with the old, in with the new. Superjuice is revolutionizing the cocktail world. Let's see, is it worth it? Superjuice is the new craze in the cocktail world. You got a bunch of YouTubers making videos, Facebook community posts about it, and other blogs and Reddit platforms that are just talking about it, which is great because it's advancing mixology and cocktail creating. Yeah, so one of the biggest things as a bartender, I'm a bartender professionally, is you waste a lot of limes, lemons, oranges just by squeezing the juice and throwing it all away.
Right.
This technique will help you reduce waste, lower your costs, and keep a longer shelf life of a product.
Which is awesome, as long as the taste stays the same.
So there's several videos already out explaining more in depth about the process and the reasons why it works. Leandro at Educated Barfly, he did a length video. He did up to a month to see how it tastes after a month. And then you have Zach, who was one of the first ones to make a video about Superjuice. Everyone's video's in the description. His boss was actually the guy who kind of made this popular, Nick Morris. And then we do Kevin Koss. He is more of the Liquid Intelligence book recipe of how to create this. So what we have in front of us now, regular lime juice, Zach's recipe, and Kevin's recipe. And they all used 2 limes.
So all other factors remain the same. First thing I notice is the volume.
The volume, yep.
Kevin's recipe that he uses from Liquid Intelligence.
It's close to that recipe, yeah.
It has the highest yield, and I think according to this jar, we're sitting at just about 16 ounces.
Okay.
With Zach's recipe, you've got about 12
ounces.
Slightly under.
Okay.
And with the squeezed limes, we have 3.
Yeah.
It looks like 3 ounces.
2.5, somewhere around there. So right there shows you yield.
Right.
Yield is, with both these, are way higher than this one. So we're gonna go ahead and try each of them, and we're gonna pop up on the screen the recipe of how I made each one. So how much citric and how much malic acid I used and water I used per one. So it's significantly different between Zach's and Kevin's, obviously. So let's go ahead and give them a try. We're gonna go ahead and do just lime juice first. We're not gonna pour too much because we don't wanna
save some of that.
Well, and we don't wanna wreck our palates.
We're gonna wreck it with everything.
That's true, okay?
Lime juice.
Lime juice.
Yep,
that's lime juice. I mean, it's tart, sweet.
Tastes like a lime.
Tastes like a lime. So we're just doing that again to kind of get our palates familiar because no one really drinks lime juice by itself.
Right, but like we will be able to see what the difference is. And I'm terrified because I know what's gonna happen. I know what this is about.
All right, and this is gonna be Zach's recipe, which this seems more concentrated.
Yes, it does. It is cloudier than the other 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tastes like a warhead.
Yeah. It still has the juiciness of it.
Right.
But the citric acid definitely comes through a lot more with the malic.
To me, this tastes the closest I've ever come to store-bought lime juice without the chemically taste.
Yes.
And that's important. The chemically taste isn't there.
Right. Which is what makes that shit horrible.
Right.
I mean, that's the whole reason you don't buy it and use it. And then we're going to use Kevin's, which is the highest yield out of 2 limes. And disclaimer, I've been using Kevin's recipe now for 2 weeks at work, and no one has said a damn thing about this tastes different, so.
Oh. Oh.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That one's even tartar.
To me, it tastes the least like the real lime.
I agree with that.
Which makes sense because it's obviously more diluted. I think it's the most sour.
Yep.
But it does not have a chemically taste, so I'm on board.
Right, and that's the most important thing, is not how the chemically taste. Like, it still has that sourness that you get from the lime, it's just amplified a lot more.
Right.
So what we're gonna do is make a gimlet.
Yes, my favorite cocktail.
Your favorite cocktail.
So this is gonna be the real test to see if Superjuice can be used in a cocktail that's very simple and one that I am very familiar with.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna, we could have done a very complex cocktail with it, but we want to see how it works in the most stripped down cocktail possible.
Right. Do the benefits outweigh the costs?
Right. Yeah.
In flavor.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, that's what really matters. Does it still taste like an amazing cocktail?
Right.
So Let's find out by trying some gimlets. So we are using Roots of Ruin, one of your favorite new gins.
Yes. I don't know if it's a new gin, but it's one of my new favorites.
Right, that's what I meant. We did an episode with our friend Lexi on a Morpheus like dessert cocktail we used that in, and it was really good in that. So we decided to try it in a gimlet because we have not tried that yet. Well, at least I haven't tried it yet.
I do not recommend this type of taste test for people who are prone to heartburn.
So Riley's gonna blind taste test these and see if she can guess which one's got which. I'm gonna be honest with you, this is probably going to be the hardest one.
Yes, so this, I don't think this should go against my totals. It's gonna go against my totals anyway.
Totals. But at the end of the day, if they all taste exactly the same or there's hardly any, then that means it's good. Like the product stands up to what it should be. So more on that later. Let's drink.
Which one do I want to start with? Start with Koopy Guy. Here we go.
I guess, did you have any say about color and look yet? A little bit, okay.
Interesting. That is very sweet for what I'm used to a gimlet being.
That might come down to the gin that we're using.
Yes, it might. It may.
It's okay. As a gimlet in whole, it's okay. This is definitely gonna be one we're gonna have to try a lot of back and forths.
This one is a little bit more sour. It's still, the gin is very forward, and the rosemary, I think, comes through the most from the gin.
I agree with that.
It's less sweet than the first one. Still tastes fine.
Yep, this one has, the second one, the Nicanora has this is the honeycomb one.
Yep.
Has a little bit more like earthy tones to it.
Yeah.
Like kind of deep forest.
Yeah.
Like reminds me of if I was in a deep forest drinking.
Yeah, that's pulling out more of the botanicals from the gin than the first one. That is my favorite of the three.
Okay.
I feel like it tastes most like a traditional gimlet. The gimlets that I am used to.
A little bit more sour. That one's the least sweet of all of them, I think.
Right.
That is definitely that is definitely the most sour of all three of them.
Yes.
And you're right, it does taste more like a normal gimlet would, like a beefeater gimlet or something like that.
Right, like the one that I would make myself would be this one. That one is the best out of all of them, I think. I feel like the lime flavor is more true. The three by themselves taste more similar than the three separated. This one tasted the most concentrated.
Okay, going in for the color and look.
Yep. For the appearance, I really don't know what to do with myself. I think the honeycomb is Kevin's.
Okay.
I don't want it to be, but I'm pretty sure the middle one is regular lime.
Sure.
Just simply because there's no extra acid punching it up.
Okay.
And then I think this one, I feel like I can see a little bit more like real lime pith in there, but I'm probably just imagining things. This one I'm choosing specifically based on color.
Okay.
It is the cloudiest, as was Zach's recipe. But also, I feel like Zach's was the most sour.
Right.
And the most concentrated.
You got one right.
Did I get Zach's right?
Yep, you got
Okay,
Zach's right.
cool. Yeah.
So it makes sense, right? Like, this one has a deeper richness and powerful to it, you know?
I think disagree.
Okay.
This one, the lime pulls through past a very, very flavorful gin.
I get what you're saying.
And balances out the cocktail.
I get what
This one comes up short, in my opinion.
Yep.
I feel like there's a little bit of tweaking that could be done to dilute it a little bit less. So for me, the extra volume in the middle one, not worth it.
Okay.
I think this recipe would be better.
Okay.
You lose something like 2-ish ounces.
Yeah.
I think it's worth a loss of 2 ounces.
Okay.
And then tried and true real lime juice, always great.
I already know my palate's super wrecked now. Everything's just kind of tasting the same. So, yeah, I definitely think as a home bartender, cocktail enthusiast, professional bartender, I think making super juice is 100% worth it.
Yes, especially when you are trying to be more conscious of the waste that you are producing and using as much of the fruit
Product,
as you can.
yeah. I mean, and just even a standpoint of price-wise, right? Like, so 2 limes, let's just call it $1.30, $1.20, something like that.
Right.
Give or take what day of the week and month you buy it on.
Yeah, and where you live.
So 60 cents a lime is $1.20 for 2 ounces. It's gonna give you maybe 3 drinks at the most.
Right.
Zach's recipe with the cost of citric acid and malic acid, those are relatively pretty cheap products to buy.
Yep.
So
Especially when you're
probably $1.50 worth of ingredients in here. You're gonna get 6 to 8 drinks.
Right.
Kevin's recipe, again, probably $1.50 worth of product in here. You're probably gonna get 10 to 12.
Right.
Adjusted to your palate, 100% worth it in my opinion.
I feel like this one would be good if you just backed off on the added water.
Water, yep, kind of.
And I feel like that's to kind of counteract the dilution. But then once again, we are using an extremely flavorful gin.
Right. I'm on board. Like I said, I've been using this for 2 weeks. Kevin's recipe for 2 weeks at the bar. No one has said anything. No one even knows I'm using this. I just put it in there and like no one has any idea. Check out everyone's videos, links in the description. They all did a great job. So moving forward, I am going to keep making super juice just because it's easy to make, it's fast, saves us money. So we mentioned before, we did an 8 rum roundup of plantation rum. If you want to check out that video, check it out. It was super fun. It is definitely one of our longest videos. It comes in at a nice solid 30 plus minutes. But
And again, should have definitely given me heartburn. I was blessed to not have that issue.
So I will grab this one. You grab that one. Cheers to you guys. And